Hey guys, this is Turok, and today I'm going to be doing a review of chapter 1132 of One Piece. Yes, it's finally back. It looks like Oda, I kept hearing rumors that Oda took a break because he was not feeling well, but also, I wonder if that was just rumors. And because I saw the message he left, he officially put out a message where he had traveled to South Africa to visit the sets for season 2 of One Piece to see what's going on. Maybe he was meeting the other actors and actresses. Like we saw we went over this, and I went over this in videos before. Then they had the interview with Robin and Crocodile's the cast members they've made for them, and so Oda went over there to review that stuff. So he had to take quite a trip. That has been one hell of a trip. It looked like he made a pit stop in Dubai, and then went directly down that way. It's like, holy shit, he's going halfway. That's pretty much all the way across Asia, Dubai from Japan, and down all the way to the south end of Africa. Holy shit. I can't imagine. I must have taken a whole day. I bet that was like a day's worth of traveling at least to go that far from wherever he is in Japan down to South Africa. But anyway, so we're back. We're getting more stuff. This time we're going to get into Elbaf proper and learn more about it. I know Teching 101 is going to be elated. He already did a stream this morning. I wish I could watch those live. He's always doing them when I'm busy. And I can rewatch them, of course. And because now there's more geography. And that's Tekking's big thing. He does all those geography videos. So we got the levels there. I bet he'll even do a video on that this week. Although we don't know anything about one of they show 2 other realms, and we don't know anything else about them yet. So let's see how he does with that. Get my coffee. So the last chapter actually had a cliffhanger with Dr. Saul, the former vice admiral, but we don't go into that today. We get more into the stuff with the Straw Hats. Are like, I think, yeah, they reunite in this one, basically. And, where is it? Yeah, I'm just reviewing it here. Got this page, don't stop that. So we saw the other new giant pirates, Goldberg and what's her name? Gerd. We saw Hiruden again for the first time in a while, and Stenson, what's he do again? He's the shipwright. And they're catching a moose because they know the Straw Hats are coming, because they wanted to go get the Straw Hats from Egghead, but Dorian Bragi, who have seniority, said, no, we're going to go get him and you stay here. So he's opting to just get ready for Hiruden's getting ready to introduce his other crewmates to the Straw Hats because he's indebted to them, and he's made them effectively his subordinates to Luffy, and so he's getting ready to have a big party. We saw him and Stenson caught a moose, and then the Straw Hat and the other Straw Hats are almost there. But meanwhile, like the other group, except for Luffy, we'll get to him in a second, they're still trying to get away from Road. Road's trying to pursue them, or Rodo, to capture them again and put them back in his dumb enclosure thing. And so they're trying to, where do they show that? They're trying to escape from him. Meanwhile, Luffy left them and he met Loki. And Loki revealed that Shanks was there a while back to talk with him. And we also got the thing hinting at that Loki, Shanks may have aided the Giants in capturing him because he's been there for 6 years, which is the same amount of time that Shanks has been known as a Yonko. So that was something too. Actually, that's something, right? So when we start seeing Shanks, I was thinking about this the other day. I was rewatching some episodes. Shanks, it's funny how if you go and watch Shanks in the end of the East Blue Saga, you see him with Mihawk briefly, and Mihawk had informed Shanks about Luffy's first bounty, and then later we saw Shanks with Ace. He still looked very carefree and whatnot, and then that part was probably during Skypiea, I believe. But then we jumped about 200 episodes later to the end of Enies Lobby, and Shanks looked like he had just gone on steroids. They beefed him up. Oda beefed him up on how he looked, and he just looked so different. He probably, I guess he Not probably, that was years of syndication. Stuff where the stories of doing Skype and everything up to Enies Lobby. So that was getting close to Marineford. I guess Shanks, Odo must have realized, hey, Shanks has to start looking more like serious, because I know he probably already had him, where he needed it. He showed, so Garp explained that he's a Yonko, that Shanks is Yonko, and so he had to make it more serious. He wasn't that carefree look we saw him 200 chapters, 200 episodes, whatever, earlier. So it's very different. Hold on a second here. I got this video on for, come on, stop it. Hold on, I gotta mute this. I'm watching the Save a Fox channel, but it's too loud. It's making a little sound. All right, there we go. Back to this. So now we're finding out some stuff with Shanks there, and Shanks is Loki has some information that Luffy's like. There was something there where Loki made it. Looks like Loki made a deal. Is going to make a deal with Luffy for something he knows about why Shanks came there weeks ago. How many weeks it could have been now between the time that Shanks left? We saw during Egghead, and now in the Egghead story at the end intermission. So that's about it. And then, so let's just get to it. I could be here all day with it. So now we're back and we see. Oh wow! Look how damaged it is. We're here with starting with the Great Eric. Yeah, we're finishing right. Yeah, when it ended off, we saw the Great Eric arriving there right before they showed the stuff with Saul. Now we're continuing right back with the Great Eric, and they're coming up to the that bar or inn where they were with Shanks there when a kid came, so the kid there, he goes and tells the barmaid about it, and then they're very excited to see him come back. Oh, and now I get his name. His name is Colin. Actually, the way that's spelled looks like colon. I'm going to say Colin. I hope that's supposed to be Colin, like Colin, right? And he yells to them. He sends, "Are you guys coming into the bar?" And oh crap! I get their names mixed up again. Hold on a minute. I'm always mixing up their names. Which one's Dory and Bragi again? Let me just do that. I always forget which one is which with their names. All right, that's right. Dory. I always think of the other. Dory is the tall one. Where is it again? Oh, wait. I can go back to this. What is this? I got too many of these. Okay. Just like this. All right, Dory's the tall one. So Bragi is one who yells to Colin, like, "No, we're not." This is falling down again. No, we can't come there. And so Colin comes back in, tells the barmaid, "Yeah, they're back, but they're gonna go back up to go up straight away." And we'll explain in a moment, like these different areas, the levels, because Loki explained to us and through Luffy earlier, like they're in the land of the dead. This is the lowest area that's along the shore of Elbath, where that's like a place they send prisoners and stuff, and the villages are up these other levels. We saw the two other levels before. Where is that? Here, yeah. You can see there's two other levels, and I'm gonna explain what they are briefly. Well, in a little bit. And the barmaids, like, yeah, it's probably, they must have guests, so they probably should just go up there, because we don't want them to. She just said they could be here for days, 3 days straight drinking. That was Zoro's thing. They could, Dory and Bragi and the others could just go there with Zoro and have fun. Nami would technically too, but well, she's not there now. She's still trying to escape from Roto with Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper. So looks like Colin's planning to go up there and meet them. So then the barmaid says, "Oh, if you're going to go up to the Sun Realm, and she says, take this basket with you. They have Ripley's favorites." So who's Ripley? Maybe she has a husband? No, I don't know. She was really smitten for Shanks. Oh, one of them's his father. That's why. Oh, I was reading this too fast. I have some for your father too. So we don't know which. So this one of the pirates on the Great Eric is this kid's dad. I don't know if it's one of the. He said captains, so I don't think it's Dorio Bragi's kid. Well, no, he's too young because they've been gone 100 years. I don't think this kid's quite that old. The giants age so slowly. Yeah, because Gerd is like what we saw in Big Mom's flashback, and she was a kid, and that was like 50 years ago. So this kid's too young to be Dorio Bragi's child. So Colin tells the barmaid like, oh, the pirates they're bringing, their captains, that new emperor Shanks was telling us about. And they show briefly Shanks saying, yeah, remember Straw Hat Luffy's name. He's quite famous now. So then Colin's running off to head to the Sun Realm, and someone else says to him, hey kid, make sure you tell the captains I'll be by later. And so we end that there. So now we switch to Haruden and what was the other guy's name? Stenson? Check. I keep forgetting his name. Okay, yeah, Stanson. Oh, I can twitch this. Hold on a second. Everything's just giving me a problem today. Here we go. Oh, it's just gonna go down anyways. Hold on. Okay, forget it. So we see Stanton and Haruden, and they've noticed the Great Eric is coming in, and so we switch to the Great Eric, and this is where we start getting some interesting exposition. The Great Eric is no, is that Haruden? No, that's Haruden's ship. Okay, I can see him. They're on a smaller ship, not. More looks like almost like a standard Viking longboat as we know them, and I can see him with the moose corpse they captured for their feast, so when they're coming up, they got back into the water and they're heading toward this rainbow, and they say, "Oh, we got here just in time for it. Let's catch a ride on it," and we see them. So we switch over here. That with the straw hats. Yeah, now we switch to the Straw Hats, and we get a nice shot here where the rainbow is coming down near that giant sword we saw in the full page spreads in one of the previous chapters. And again, we can see some cannons there too, like we saw. I think that was the page where oh, you can see in this one too. Yeah, here. They're coming in from that east side. We could call it. No, we can't east. I'll just say right. There's a right side here. And I'm looking at the other. And the rainbow's coming directly from right next to that sword down into the water. And the Straw Hats see this now. And they're like, wait, a rainbow? What's it doing so close? And especially Bonnie is here. We see a lot of Bonnie in this chapter. We still don't really see what's going on with how Kuma is. But Bonnie, it must be okay. Bonnie seems all right, but... Oh, whatever. And she's excited to see one. She probably has never seen one so close. That's right. She's only been around a few years outside of that, being in captivity, so to speak, by the friggin' CP assholes. And then, of course, Kumo's protecting her. I bet Bonnie's. And then we got what's her name? Lilith is still with them. I bet she's gonna be amazed by this place because it's probably gonna. I bet there's a lot of stuff they got here is going to defy some of the science stuff she's been integrated with her whole life. All the other straw hats here that are on the Eric are like looking at it like, wow, what is this unique thing with the rainbow being like this? And so Bragi comes up to him and says, well, it's nothing out of the ordinary around here, and oh, you can draw them with a sunstone painter. Okay, they call it paint. I know I see why I call it painter. So they can conjure up somehow these rainbows in order to use them for transportation. And they're going to explain more of that. And Jinba's like, wait, you can draw the rainbows? So someone made that? And he's like, yeah, it's easy around here. So then one of the other pirate... their subordinates is like, all right, we're right at the base. Bosses, are you ready? And so Bragi has the Straw Hats grab into his hand or cups him into his arm, kind of goes like this and holds him up. And he's like, get on tight. because we're about to go vertical, and yeah, they just sweetly start just riding straight up the straight part of the rainbow before it's curving. And I can't help but get the Rainbow Road vibes from this as well. But we know what this is. This is going with the Bifrost, which is supposed to be a way of transporting to other realms. And so I don't think we see a Heimdall in here, but in the mythology, Heimdall is, where is I have it here? I have my little mythology book here that has some stuff on a little of everything. Is Heimdall in here? Creatures, Yggdrasil, Loki, Last Battle, Viking Warrior. I don't know if they have much on the Bifrost in here. There's the Norse God Pantheon. The Bifrost. No, there it is. The rainbow bridge that glimmered in the sky above Midgard. An Icelandic writer to shimmer. So yeah, so Bifrost is a glimmering bridge above the sky of Midgard. But they don't have a Midgard here, right? They have that underworld area. What page was this? 92. Because you gotta come back to that. So they're going up a kind of Bifrost that seemingly anyone can make to get from the shoreline to this second area. So yeah, saying the village is at the top of this tree. That's why we're hitching a ride on this. We're holding off the party till we get there. And then Frankie's like, wait a minute, how is this possible? Wait a minute, you're not explaining this. Who says that? Is that Robin or Lilith? She's like, wait a minute, a rainbow is just a refraction of light through water droplets. And the Dorian Bragi just laugh at him, like, what are you talking about? Rainbows are meant to be crossed. So the others are still, like freaking out about this at first. But as we get up there, Robin and Bonnie are starting to enjoy the ride. Okay, so now we see that. Oh, yeah, so Harudin's little ship is falling right behind them here. So we get a great shot of them floating on one of the levels. Like, this rainbow is really wide, too. We've got to note that. The Great Eric we saw was like hundreds of feet. How long would that probably be? A half mile long? They're only floating, their whole pirate ship's only floating in one of the colors. So we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's got 7 panels. He didn't color them all. This is still like black and white. So is that maybe 8 actually? There's a black one toward the back, and the others are like just shades of gray, and kind of 2 of them look white. And so they'll probably be colored really well in the anime, but we can see that the Great Eric only needs to be into one of those. So they could probably have like 3, 4 ships, really maybe 7, unless they're a little tight. It's hard to tell how much of that one lane, I'm gonna call it like a lane, one color they're in. So now they're all like, holy shit, this is amazing. So at this point, we're a little bit later where they've calmed down. I'm like, wow, this is actually really amazing. And so like Jinbei's saying, wow, this is Luffy and the others are going to go crazy when they see this. And then we got Brook going a little joke. I'm already gone nuts myself. Oh boy. Probably because he was sitting on a ship isolated with his friends for so long. And Frankie now is like, wow, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Oh, there's a panel there you can see where the ship's with. Yeah, the Great Eric is not even fitting fully into one of those lanes of the colors. So you could definitely have several ships together on this if they're all the same size like that. And we get a cute moment here where we see Robin she's kind of like maybe holding Bonnie. They're looking over together. I even saw someone commenting already that Robin's becoming like her surrogate mother, which is kind of cute to see that together like that. And actually, I just realized Robin's basically wearing a tank top that's very similar to what we always saw Ginny wearing before. Yeah, she's even wearing shorts. Yeah, she's like dressed similar to how Ginny always would wear. So let's see, what else we got? Then, so Dorian and Bragi are communicating, talking over the ledge to Haruden and Stanson. And Haruden's like, oh, do you have the Straw Hats with you? this Straw Hat. He's referring to Luffy, and the others like say, "Oh, hey guys, long time no see." So they're wondering, "Oh, he's not there. So they're going to catch up later." Then they say, "Oh, we caught a moose for him," and some of the others are like, on the Great Air, go, "Wait, you caught a moose? Oh, those things are amazing. I want some." And Haruna's like, "Wait, this is for Straw Hat. You can have the leftovers." So now I think that's all we see of them in this chapter. Now we switch to the bridge between the realm of the dead and the realm of the sun. So we'll get a map soon here. So now we see. So this is where we continued off that. Where was that? So get this right here. Yeah. So the Straw Hats here were running away from Roto. They didn't realize, and they were afraid. They saw the others coming. Was that the one? Yeah, didn't they see the others chasing them too? Where did they show that? I know they showed that here somewhere where they started pursuing them too. I don't seem to have that other page ready. So they thought they saw them pursuing with the Sunny. So what happened here, you could tell though, is that Gerd and Stanson. Gerd was saying in I think it was 2 chapters ago, like how she thinks Roto is not a good person. She knows he's not a good person. At this point, I don't know if she understood up until right now. I don't know if she understood the extent of what he's been doing in that castle they've been living in. And we still don't know why they live there and not stay up in the village. But maybe they'll get to that later. They probably will. But they found the Sunny. He must have left the Sunny somewhere else. And they pieced 2 and 2 together to realize that he had must have kidnapped humans. And now they're after him. And you got Gerd leading the way, and Goldberg is holding up the Sunny. Wait a minute, where is that part? Hold on. Okay, I found that panel. I wanted to make sure it was a small panel. That's why I missed it a minute ago. They're chasing him and carrying the Sunny. They might be the Master's friends, right? So they were concerned that Gerd and Goldberg, the other Straw Hats, that these other 2 were chasing them, were going to pursue them too. So they start speeding up along that bridge to get up away from these 3. But they actually, we can tell here, are pissed off at Roto for what he did. Okay, hold on here. Like that. Oops, no, not that one. Come on. I want this full screen. So what happens here? We see Luffy jumps back up out of nowhere. Oda did this really thick. I was like wondering how this was working at first, but because the last time we saw him was when we saw that Luffy was going to try and make a deal with him to about what Shanks had come there before, but Luffy's completed that. We'll get to that in a second. He comes up there and intercepts Goldberg and Gerd. And he sees a ship, and he's like, "Hey, that's our ship. What are you doing with it?" And but mainly these 2 are like Gerd especially. She just gets smitten with Luffy, but I think it's more because he's a human. She finds humans really cute, but not in a creepy way like Roto does, and she even says so here. So she's got the smile on her face, and the next panel, she's holding Luffy, and she's like, "Oh, they're so cute. You're Luffy-kun." All right, okay, I can't remember. I don't remember those honorific that one means, but she's even thinking, "Oh, you're so cute," and then she's like, "Oh, I love tiny humans, but don't take it the wrong way. I'm not like Roto. Don't go leave me in with him," she says. "I don't go trapping humans in cages. I just want to be friends." And Roto's like, "Gerd, not now. We got something finished here, you know." And then it looks like they're continuing on the bridge. Yeah. So they continue on the bridge, and Gerd's holding up Luffy now. And he looks a little like suspicious at first, like, okay, calm down, lady. And so yeah, they figured out. Okay, I know why. I bet I know why they figured out too. That's right. They probably smelled the smoke, the fire. They probably went in there already and maybe that's why Roto was running away. I bet they went in there, found him trying to clean up the mess that was made by the Straw Hats. And then they figured out finally what the hell he's been doing. So he must have been sneaking around doing this for a while, because we saw that there were lots of humans in there, and he had built up all that stuff. I bet He probably was building up that set, the Lego thing, for months or years, and he'd only been doing the thing with the humans recently, I would suspect. And they hadn't got suspicious yet, or he was being very clever about it to some degree. And now that the smoke, and then they went in there, probably saw what's happening, because now she's like, Gertie's like apologizing about what they found here, like so she said it's awful how he just put you in there against your will, and I wouldn't associate him if I had a choice. Then we saw that she said that to Goldberg, like she doesn't like that Haruden hired him, because what does he do again? Was he the doctor? Wait, I forget what Roto did. So the shipwright is Stanton. I think Goldberg's the cook. No, she's the doctor. Oh, that's right. He's the navigator. I remember now. I had to piece them all up. He hired him because he's a good nav. Haruden wanted Roto part of the crew as a navigator, but now he's doing that stuff. And Luffy's like didn't see Roto what he looked like, and he's just like, "Oh, you mean that skull face weirdo thing that was chasing us?" So they're continuing here, but while they're running, Roto's like, "What were you doing down in the realm of the dead? You just came from up there," I thought. And Luffy, we see a mini flashback. So he made some kind of deal with him. He's like, "Remember our deal?" And we see it. He's like, Loki says, "Our deal is a secret. Don't tell anyone about our meeting." So this is a little something to stop at. So Luffy does not realize the implication, I think, of making a deal with this guy, especially because, not even because we know it's Loki, and Loki's a trickster, but it's like he should have realized this guy's been imprisoned. He even admitted it. When did he say that? Did he say... how do you say that here? No, yeah. Yeah, he says, "No man chooses to be chained, and I've been here for years. I consider myself the strongest." Yeah, so Luffy should have realized, hey, I'm dealing with a guy who's imprisoned. Usually that means they've done something wrong. I mean, you could always say they've been framed and stuff, and he's or a scapegoat. But he has that grin going on every moment we saw him chatting with Luffy. So there's this, but maybe Luffy thinks something is wrong with him, but he wanted to know what Shanks was up to, so he made a deal in exchange for information. But we don't get to see what it is here. So he lies to him, or he tries to. He's like, well, and he just said that whole thing. And you're awfully sweaty, even though you're freezing. So he's panicking, cause he can't lie. He's not someone that lies, And we don't even get to see exactly what he's thinking. He just freaks out, oh, I didn't think about this. People asking me. He's just not used to being confronted in this way, and he just they let it go though. They probably never dreamed he would get they'd ever associate with a prisoner like that. So we switched now to the other Straw Hats. We'll come back to the others soon. We're going to catch up. We're in the other Straw Hats have finally got about off that bridge, and on there we get the title card. We're in this Realm of the Sun, the second level, and Roto has caught up with them, or so it seems. I think this next panel that comes up was confused me a little bit. It looks like what happens here is Roto's thinks he's going to catch him, but the Straw Hats have set a trap because he was chasing them. He has Nami and Chopper are standing out in a clearing area. Maybe they're in a forest. You see trees at first when they with the title of the second level, but then we see him jumping up like this. He's coming down to grab Chopper and Robin. No, and then he said, "Oh," but he says I'm gonna lock you up again before the others catch on. So I guess that I don't know why he's that dumb. He must have realized they would notice that, especially with all that smoke. That smoke must have got up into the castle a little bit. I think this guy's just an idiot. So he's just doing this creepy thing. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna capture you and you'll be mine for life." And suddenly, I'm trying to figure out how this worked. I think Usopp used one of his green pop things to create a giant, it looks like a tree or a vine thing, and then Zoro cut it down. It's some kind of beanstalk looking thing or something, and then Zoro cut it, and it falls right on top of Roto's head as he's reaching for Chopper and Nami. Yeah, and you see Usopp and Zoro on the side where he cut it, and Sanji's on the other side. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how that worked exactly, but they set a trap for him. I can tell that much. Yeah. Zoro, even Nami's like, I think that's Nami saying that. She's like, even animals won't fall for a bait that obvious. Sanji helps somehow because Usopp's like, you guys kind of, Usopp and Zoro, you overdid it, and you're like, but you didn't even help. It's like you didn't. What is that they use? I don't know. It's cute. So Sanji's like, well, now that we got rid of him, let's go check out the land of the giants. And Roto's still there, like, oh, you damn puny humans. He just didn't realize he's no match for him. I can't believe he thought he would get away with this. He does not realize, he still doesn't realize that humans, he probably, like, Teching 101 was pointing out, like, okay, this guy's a little bit like Arlong, but he's, like, he looks down upon him, but he's not as, like, I don't know if you could call him as malicious, but he definitely does not respect him. But now we see that there's a cave behind where they trapped Roto and or tricked Roto, and the other two come out, Gerd and Goldberg, and her owl. I forgot her owl. And the others are like, oh, there he is. Oh, God. And yeah, Roto's still not with it. He's like, oh, it's Gerd. She's come to save me. And we get this great double panel. Goldberg and Gerd both take out their weapons and whack him in the head. You know, it's like, we're here for you, you freaking weirdo. And they just, his teeth all falling out, his eyes pop. And so the other Straw Hats are like, are we gonna have to fight with them? But and then Sanji's just like, oh wow, a lady giant. But Luffy's there and like, oh guys, it's okay. It's over here. So now we get like this situation diffused because the others thought they had to run away from Gerd and Goldberg. And one of them's like, Luffy says, oh here, they brought the Sunny back too. And so Gerd goes down and introduces herself. Greetings, Straw Hat crew. Hi, this is Gerd. I'm Gerd, and this is Goldberg, and we're with Harunen's crew. We're sorry about Roto, she goes on to say, but well now from here we'll guide you if you like. And Sanji's like, oh Gerd, you can be my guiding star. And Zoro's like, do you have any idea what's been happening to us? And Gerd's like, I understand. We'll make it up to you. So yeah, the other Straw Hats seem like, oh, Nami looks like pleased. Like, okay, I see what's going on now. And Goldberg's just back there smiling. So yeah, and we just got Roto in the corner with the giant bump on the head, the way Oda always draws it, the big lump, the circle lump. And so Luffy's getting excited now, and he starts running ahead, and he's like, Usopp, there's a village on this level, let's go. And Usopp's getting all excited too, and he's like, all right, I'm so ready for this. And Gerd doesn't even try and stop them. She just tells them where to go. It's like, just head straight from the forest from here until you see some clouds, and you can take a ride out of them and then be at the village. And then she picks up the other three. It looks like Chopper's running along with them too, actually, with Usopp and Luffy. Meanwhile, the other three hitch a ride with Gerd. She like holds them up now. So even and you can see too, Gerd is very pleased to see more humans. She's got some affection toward them. I can't quite explain what that means because, like she said, she's not acting creepy like Roto, where she's gonna throw him in some enclosure and treat him like she's their god or goddess. Anyways, we get to Sanji and the other three, Luffy and the other two. They find those island clouds, and he jumps on them immediately. And the other two are like, "Wait, what if we fall?" Well, he's like, she said we could ride them. Okay, we switch from there now to we'll see that more in a minute. We switch back to the great Eric and Haruden and Stanson together, and the others there, and they're getting to the top of the rainbow now. And what someone tells them, like, as soon as we get to the top of this, clear these clouds, you'll be able to see the village. And here's the exposition of the mapping. So he said, it's Bragi, I think. He says Elbath has 3 levels. Going from top to bottom, you have the dead, which is the ground, with all the mountains and stuff, where the straw hats where Loki is. The sun is the next level, is the first canopy of trees. It's a really wide one. And then there's one called Heaven, which is a slightly smaller canopy at the top. And so Dory takes over and saying, "We live where it shines, the realm of the sun." Where I like how it says where it shines. Like, so what's the difference with heaven? I wonder. Like, well, maybe that's where the kings would have to live, right? The nobles. And he says, on the floor of the sun, there are many villages. So it must be much bigger than I thought. I was saying in the last chapter, like, I'm not as impressed with how big it is as I thought it would. Like, it looks like from this, with that panel right there. But he claims it just must be the scale, like the way Oda had to draw it. Like, you can't really show the true scale that way. Because Dory says there are many villages here. And he continues saying it's so vast that scant landscapes, it goes as far as your eye can see. And but right up ahead, they're coming to their village. And here we get a great shot of a proper village here that has that very old school Scandinavian look. Complete, though, with a castle nearby. And that looks like the Stein something castle, whatever it was called, the replica one that Rodo made. Of course, everything's not Lego. So this is a true village. Most of the places we can see here have are wood, probably with like some kind of thatch. What do you call those roofs where they have it? It's usually some kind of hay-ish, something like that. And maybe that castle's like a local lord. We have the Dory and Brian yell together as they get up to it, like, "Welcome to Elbath, Straw Hats." And we have at the same time here, Zoro, this panel here, we see Luffy and Usopp both looking at it, and Usopp's crying his eyes out, because this has been something ever since Little Garden, he's been so hyped to see this place. And we get a little flashback with the two of them together on the Mary at the time, holding each other's shoulders, and like, "Yeah, we swear we'll go to Elbath someday." And Luffy's last words right there are, "Let's go to the village of warriors, Usopp. Let's do this, just like we promised." And now we start getting this text over, and it's from a I'm gonna tell right here. It's from a explorer, and I had to look it up again. He was an explorer that they mentioned in the Little Garden arc who had been to Elbath. I gotta reread that after this chapter. I'm done recording. I want to go back to Elbath. I just had to get into this quickly after I was busy this morning, so I could have the time to record. But apparently, this is the words of an explorer who chronicled his stuff in Little Garden and being here. So I'm gonna read this verbatim this is the unofficial version. I'm gonna go back to this one. Today's Saturday, so tomorrow the official version should be out and Shonen Jump. So it starts. It is a sight of such enormity that it stuns all visitors. Most fail to find words that adequately describe its immense grandeur. Also, too, I have to stop. Sorry, there's a lot of waterfalls here too, just like we saw coming from the canopy illustrations here. I'm looking at the one from the last chapter. Where Loki was talking to Luffy. So there's a waterfall right there, and there's a bridge. And the island, some of the stuff here almost looks like it's floating. Because this looks like a tree, but it also looks like they're on a rocky area. There's you can see bedrock. You see the waterfall coming over near that castle. There's a bridge crossing over bringing two areas together. It's really something. And you can see how the village. You can see also you see villagers going about their day there. Let's continue this. So now we get a double page spread with some of the other Straw Hat characters, as well as Bonnie and Lilith. Yeah, so Robin, Chopper, Frankie, even Zorro's like looks at the amazed at the scale of everything. Bonnie's like Bonnie and Robin especially are elated. Oh, the others really are too. But and Sanji though, he's just like resting his face probably on Gerd's hand, feeling its warmth and like ooh. Anyways, so the text continues. They call it the Kingdom of Warland. It resides on the massive island of Elbath. So this is like an introduction thing that must have been, or a summary thing this explorer was making. And it goes, hence its common moniker, Elbath, the land of giants. And we get a little more text here. So we see the great Eric and Hiruden's ship coming down. So this is where the Straw Hats are going to meet back. Where is Luffy right there? I don't know where he is right there, but the others see him, and someone's like, "Oh, it's Straw Hat." That's probably Haruden. And Frankie's there going, "Well, Luffy, we've been looking everywhere for you." And Doria, Bragi, one of them, like, "Oh, you guys just get here? That's great. Everything worked out in the end." And so we get a cute shot here with Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper. Like, wait, they're riding on a rainbow? Elbath is the greatest place ever. Meanwhile, though, there's some more text. From the mighty trees to the gentle flowers, from sea to sky to land. All life on this particular island is so huge it takes one's breath away. To those who seek adventure, I concede it would be a great shame to turn away from this marvelous island. However, if nothing else, I implore you to keep this one piece of advice in the back of your mind. Should you venture out and arrive on Elbath's vast and mysterious soil, heed my simple warning. If I only could write this one thing about this enticing nation, it would be this. Do not linger for long, or too long. Louis Arnott, Explorer. We get this like big doom at the end. I think that's kind of, reminds me of the two we continue. The last other panel too is, I thought that was a silhouette of a person, but I think that's supposed to be the forest there, and it's just a bear sitting there. Oh wait, there is someone there. Oh, that's what I saw. Okay. There's a small silhouette of someone walking in the woods with a bear. The bear's in the background. A giant. When I say giant bear, meaning it's one of the giant. Like this silhouette looks like it's smaller though, so it's probably a human. Although it looks like they got one of those hats on. The Asian, whatever hat I got. Where's mine? I have one like that somewhere because I get easily sunburned. I was able to find one on Amazon. And it looks like he's got long hair, perhaps. It kind of reminds me of the silhouette. It first made me think of Kappa, the fish Kappa. What's his name? From the Red Scabbards. It has a silhouette that reminds me of that, and he looks like he's probably drinking something. He might be having a cup with him, and that's where the chapter ends. Holy shit! There was so much in here. So those 3 levels. And somehow they do have land growing on top of a tree. Okay, glad to see that Gerd and the others were happy to meet Luffy and the others, actually. The thing with Roto was hilarious. I'm glad I'm glad they went like that where they didn't really have to fight Roto. Although with Sanji and Zoro probably could have just done some combo thing like they've done before to take him out. Instead, they decided to set a trap for him. That was hilarious. And you can see I like how Oda paid attention to make sure his hair's all messed up now because he got shocked by Nami. So his hair, she actually could have just been waiting. She probably could have even done that. Like she could have just had Chopper stand there and then she strikes him down again with more lightning. But it looks like they wanted to make sure that he really got conked out. So they did something else. Also, you can tell too, like there's something weird with the trees, with land and things. Because with this one shot here where it's Goldberg and Gerd, when they're running up the bridge still, and there's still quite an expanse of it ahead, when Luffy met them, you can only see the trees there, but then when they catch up to they catch up to the group. It looks like they came out of a cave. You can see it's like a perfectly it has the cartoonish mouse hole look, but you can see the rocks around it, and then there's the forest opens up before them, where the Straw Hats are over here, where they captured tricked Roto. So there's definitely somehow, again, bedrock there. That's very interesting. Then we got this cube thing they talked about, the Sunstone Painter. I wonder if that's how it'll be in the official translator. And you just see a cube, and it's like a big die. Like it fits. It's like this though. It's not dice are like tiny in one hand, and this thing's bigger. Like it's a. What would be a good size for that? I don't have anything I could use to scale for that. But if it was in someone's hand, it looks like it'd be like 2 to 3 inches shaped, and it just looks crystal clear here. There's no identifying marks to it. It just drew a few stripes on it, but I think that's supposed to be kind of like a shadow, like a glimmer. Actually, it's probably maybe some kind of crystal-like look. So he's showing the one he must carry with him. This was a Bragi showing it. He must be carrying one with him, but they didn't have to. That rainbow was right there, and then they somehow just started riding it. I don't know if they had to maybe he had to use that painter thing to like get their ship to attach to it. He didn't show how that worked here. He held it, and then the next thing you know, when he had the Straw Hats getting his arms, Bragi, then we just see it going up. So that's some kind of magic going on there that's encapsulated there that they can use, that anyone can use who's traveling. That was the thing I wanted to say too earlier. Traveling can conjure a rainbow. I wonder if because the Ant of the Giant is not associated with the world government, and they don't have any kind of walls around it the way we saw at Wano. I'm wondering though, well, the other thing I want to say is, I wonder if the the Giants need permission to leave the island. This place seems very isolated, but yet we have Dori Bragi. They were out over a century ago terrorizing the world, and they had a big bounty back then, big for back then. Then they had their duel. So we don't know anything about like merchants or explorers among the Giants going out into the world, leaving Elbath. So I'm just curious if they go without permission. Guys, I was kind of thinking of that too because of the Hiruden's new giant pirate group are hanging out in a castle in the underworld area. Though he said, the way Goldberg said, oh, you came from the underworld, because their castle's on a giant rock edifice or outcrop, but they're still not in the sun level that we saw here. So there's clearly I wonder what reason they would have to hang out down there. Maybe because they're considered pirates. But Dorian Bragi said they live in this village, so there's a lot there to be asked of why they. And also, of course, we had that bar that we saw in the beginning here with Colin, and it what do you call it? They're there and they take in travelers, so maybe there are some of these people that travel in the world. We saw the pirates in that bar too. We could see some drinking in the background when the barmaid's talking to you don't see a face, but 1, 2, 3, there's like 4 or 5 customers standing there, sitting there enjoying a drink when Colin came in and inform them that Dorian Bragi returned. So perhaps they don't need permission, but maybe most pirates, if they got plenty of villages there, they probably can. Maybe Elbath is just that self-sufficient that they don't care to travel out into the world and interact with the humans. Like maybe there's one that does agriculture and one that's got cattle, that kind of stuff. And of course, they probably have to have like mining or something because they have raw materials to make weapons and stuff. So that's stuff to think about too, like how that working when they're on a gigantic tree that's probably, they make it out sound like it's dozens of miles, maybe hundreds of miles wide, even though it doesn't look for it. Like I was skeptical of that in my last review. All I just realized too, it looks like Goldberg wields a kanabo. Oda really likes to have a character every now and then with a kanabo. Maybe just because it's easy to draw. He had Alvida with one, Kaido with one, and now Goldberg. Of course, Goldberg's would be the biggest of all. And it's funny that we can see for sure that this is like these giants all probably know how to fight because Gerd easily wings out her axe and whacks Frodo with it, and she's the doctor, so she's not afraid to fight when she has to, though. Also, we never saw anything else with that shield that Goldberg was wielding. We see the back of it there, but he's got he had like a face on it. We didn't know if that was like something. Maybe it's like it's just there for decoration, or maybe it's some kind of sentient thing. So what else? There's just a lot to go over. I like going over stuff like this at the end when I'm bridge. Also, it's just like a single bridge. I wonder if that bridge is something that they just built to go to that castle. It's not like wide enough for more than one person, it looks like. There's a bar. Actually, you can see the bar there. There's always water flowing from it here. I'm looking at this panel with the thing, and there's still the water coming down. And of course, that friggin' sword again. Look how big that sword is. So we can see the Great Eric. I know I tried to scale it before. The Great Eric's there. If you look at the length of that rainbow, that sword's about the same thing. And we don't know how long it took them to get up. It probably wasn't too long, but that ship there. How high would you think that ship is? 60 meter, I don't know. I'm trying to think about when they were talking about the scale of the marine ships. Their ship's gotta be, what would that be? Couple miles high, 3 with the mast. Oh God, I just can't imagine that sword would look like it would take a being who's 15, 20 times taller than a giant to wield. Like what? Yeah, who put that there? Why is it? Is it like is it ornamental, or is it an actual weapon that was just set there by some god? Wait, Luffy can go giant. No, he couldn't go that big though, could he? I know I talked about that when we first saw his sword, but when Luffy turned into his giant form, he was probably at least as tall as a regular giant or more when he fought Kaido, and then he had that. He briefly did it against Kizaru too. I don't know. This is wild. And also, I want to know who Colin's dad is. Yeah, Ripley's favorites, and there I picked some for your father. Maybe that's her brother. Maybe Ripley. And it's so great the Straws finally got together. It took a while. He always does that when they're apart, but now they're properly in Elbath, he had to reunite them, I guess. So, oh yeah, what did Luffy promise to do for Loki? Why would he make a deal? That's the last thing to think. Like, what? Is he promised to free him at some point before they leave? That's all I can think. I just can't think of what Luffy would want to do there. So anyways, I think that's about it for today. I can't think of much else. The rainbow thing's awesome. I can't wait to see if they have other magic out there that they can learn. Like, everyone's talking about Usopp like getting some kind of upgrade here or something. And I think, okay, maybe he could learn magic instead, something that make because his opponent in the Blackbeard Pirates now can Van Augur can teleport. Like, what is Usopp gonna need? What would it take for him to be able to beat him? Maybe he'll learn something here that we couldn't feel like even the odds. Yeah, and then who this mysterious figure? Not sure. And then yeah, that's it, I guess. I'm done rambling. I can't think of much else to ramble about. I'm gonna leave this here and wait for the official one tomorrow. Thanks for watching.